let's start with the last quarter here, Jose. Overall, it wasn't bad, given everything with the pandemic. People were still out there buying cars, and they seem to a certain extent to favor not only Hyundais, but a lot of cars in that particular class that you serve.
Well, thank you for having me. It's a really real pleasure being here with you today. Well, we just saw the results of December. Almost we are just gathering the information. Still, we don't have full numbers. But what I can tell you is that the expectations from Cox Automotive call for an increase in December of about 1.9% year over year, supported by 3 more selling days. We're very proud of the achievements in December. As you said, it was a month, but we over-delivered the market by almost double, with 3.6% growth. And our really fantastic result of Genesis with a 40% increase year over year. But more importantly, we always focus on the retail because it's the highest profitability, is the delivery to the end customers one by one, where we saw increase of about 13% year over year. All this to have a full year TIV, which is going to be significantly down year over year by about 15%. So we're very happy with the results of the year overall. When we look at the full year, we were down 10% in total sales, but our retail was up by more than 1%, which was quite good.
Jose, let's talk about the future. Let's talk about of course, the Ioniq 5. Let's talk about the EV focus that you have at Hyundai. How are you going to be taking on the competition? Because it feels like there's going to be an awful lot of supply suddenly in the market to be choosing from. Do you feel that you can make headway over and above some of the others that are already on the road?
Well, first and foremost, I think is important to know that Hyundai has already had more than 20 years experience with new technology, namely with the hydrogen technology. And we actually launched the first hydrogen power vehicle, the iX35, back in 2013. So we have recently presented our 2025 strategic plan. And within that, we want to become leaders in the electric market by 2025 with sales within the group of about 1 million. As you said, one of the key strategic pillars is the launch of the battery EV focused brand Ioniq. And this year, 2021, we're going to launch our first Ioniq vehicle, so-called Ioniq 5. But we're going to continue next year with Ioniq 6 and 2 years later with Ioniq 7. Plus, the introduction of the hybrid and plug-in hybrid in most of our vehicles as well. So we're quite confident to gain somewhere between 8 to 10% market share in that market by 2025.
What are you doing to capitalize on the shift in the U.S. from sedans to bigger trucks?
Well, simply put, we have the best portfolio we have ever had, thanks to the global leadership of our chairman, Mr. Chung, and also with the great new products. Well, we've seen increase in our sales of 10 points in the mix of SUVs versus passenger cars to an all-time record of 70% this year. So basically, all our SUVs have increased sales through the year, and in particular in the month of December. So that's very simple. The introduction of SUVs plus hybrid models and plug-in hybrids is the strategy.
With the move to more renewable energy vehicles, or in some cases, completely low carbon or no carbon emissions, is there a general sense here that the legacy cars, the ones that do run on gasoline, are they going to have a place in the future, or is this more of a transition that we're just going to see unfold over the next few years?
Well, in our case, we believe that the market is going to go electric. And in particular, we want to be fully electric by 2040 in all the major markets. So over time, ICE vehicles will disappear. It's going to take different time depending on the type of vehicle. So for example, probably on the pickups, we'll see them last a little bit longer. But over time, we believe there's going to be a complete shift to electrification.
You're a man, of course, who is responsible for the global operations of Hyundai. How are operations? How are supply chains? How are you finding things as we look towards the finish line, we hope that it's darkest before the dawn towards the end of COVID?
Well, it's been a very challenging year, I tell you. So I think our manufacturing operations were among the best in the world, with no disruption in Korea. And in America, we had about the shortest disruption. So supply has been one of the key success factors, without a doubt. However, we had a lot of issues with suppliers, with employees, and with different events, which led to all the challenges that you can imagine all at once in 1 year. But all in all, we did great, and we're expecting to have really an all-time record year in terms of supply and sales for 2021.